Hey guys, today's video is going to be about the West Indian Gherkin. West Indian Gherkin. It's kind of a mouthful. Okay, so here's the plant, and I planted this on. I planted two of them down here, and I'm letting them sprawl. The reason I'm doing that, it's by design. I'm kind of trying to cool this area off because I have a very sensitive tree over here that I'm trying to get through the summertime. And so I thought if I can get, I got a watermelon here, if I can kind of cool off the area, it's gonna help me out with that a little bit. So that's why I have it sprawling. And I also have one on a trellis over here that I'll show you in just a minute. But for now, I just want to kind of show you the one on the ground is doing a little bit better. And I just want to show you what these look like. So see if you can see the little spines on that. It definitely is spiny. It's almost like a cactus, but the thing produces pretty well. If you look back there, there's one there. You can see they're in different stages of ripeness. These yellow ones here are a little bit overripe. These are the ones that this is about the stage that I like to get them. Or even this stage here, you can see it's starting to turn a little bit yellow. It's still got that green look to it. And so what I'm noticing about these, when you throw them on the ground, for one, it's like a little Easter egg. You gotta go walk around looking for them because they're not huge. They kind of tend to blend in, but they're all over the place. The thing seems to be a pretty heavy producer. And so look down in here, see one down there. So it produces really well. It gives me a lot of these little cucumbers. And I'm gonna be honest, I struggle a little bit with traditional cucumbers. I have a hard time getting them to really produce much for me. And so my preference has always been to go with the Armenian cucumbers, which are more of a melon, because those do really well in our heat, and they're really easy to grow, and so I get a much bigger harvest off of those. But what I'm finding here is that these little guys, while they're small, they really produce really well. I've got quite a bit of them. You can see the plant kind of goes on back there. So it produces really well. It's just a little bit of a challenge when you have them here on the ground. Here's a small flower. You can see female flower. It's going to be a fruit here pretty soon. So you can see those little spines on it. But let me grab one of these off here. I'm going to grab one that's tender like that, and I'll grab one that's also overripe a little bit, and we'll kind of compare and contrast a little bit. I'll show you what these taste like. Okay, so here we go. So I took this one off, and I also took this one off. And so when you're holding them, I've got gloves on. I'll show you why here in a second. When you're holding them, these little spines will get you, and that's true with most traditional cucumbers. They tend to have little spikes on them. This one just has more than normal. And so you can see they're a little uncomfortable, and the thought of that going down my my tongue and down my throat bothers me a little bit. So I'm just this is really easy to take care of. We got a clean glove here. I'm just gonna rub them, and they just come right off. It's just like a regular cucumber as far as that goes. And now you can see those spikes are pretty much gone. So now you just have kind of the little ribbed area. So I'm going to take a little bite here, and I'll show you what this looks like on the inside. I don't know if you heard the crunch, but it's a very crunchy cucumber, and it's loaded with seeds. But it tastes really good. So if you don't like seeds, this might not be a good one for you, because you see there's no way to really eat around the seeds in this guy. But It tastes pretty similar to a regular cucumber. I don't know how else to describe it. So let's take a bite of this one and let's see how this one is. So this is the one that's a little bit overripe. It's got a similar flavor to it, but let's see if we can hold these up together. So if you look, the skin might be a little hard to tell, but the skin is a little bit tougher on this one here, on the one that's a little overripe. So the skin's a little bit tougher, and it's a little bit more bitter. So they're definitely better if you take them in this green stage. They taste better. But yeah, I mean, here's a cucumber plant that's actually pretty easy here. So if you are in Arizona and you struggle a little bit with cucumbers, trying to get them to grow, probably the best thing to do would be try an Armenian cucumber, because those do really well here. And if you want something that's actually a cucumber, this one might be worth trying because it takes our heat. I mean, we've had temps in the, you know, up close to 120, and this thing does fine with it. You see, kind of the leaves almost look like a watermelon almost. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share this plant. It's kind of a novelty, but it produces pretty well. Let me show you over here real quick. This is my trellised version here, and so you can see these are easier to find, but this particular one is not producing as well. You can see it's got some flowers coming on here. Here's another one of these little female flowers. You can see they just have those spikes right from the get-go. But my regular cucumber plants I planted in the spring died off. They couldn't take this heat, but these guys are champions. So this isn't, it's kind of, like I said, it's kind of a novelty thing, but it's a legitimate producer here in our really hot summers. So it might be worth trying. I think I'm going to do it again next year, just because I enjoyed it. Gives me some fruit, and I'm going to try pickling these and see how they do. Make some little this little crispy pickles. I think they'll be great. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. That's your West Indian Burr Gherkin.